KLYC Radio 1260. This is To the Root of It with Ray and Kyle, your local know-it-all gardeners. Well, kind of. We're both certified master gardeners through the Oregon State Extension Office. We've taken the class. We've completed our recertification hours. And it's okay for us to tell people how to garden as long as we give them research-based information that is provided by Oregon State Department of Agriculture. So if you have any questions, please be patient with us. We do have an email to touch on today. Someone sent us an email at our website, which is ray@totherootofit.com.
And I'm Kyle at totherootofit.com. And yeah, great. I love it that we do get emails because that's why we're here, is to actually answer questions.
We're here to remove the mystery of gardening in Yamhill County because we have such a unique climate. It's like it's our own little Mediterranean world that we live in here.
And it is our own unique kind of climate, and it is uniquely all over the place right now. That being rain.
It's unique and out there.
And it's what we deal with here in the Pacific Northwest, but specifically here in the Yamhill Valley. We're just, it's raining. That's what we do.
It always cracks me up that if you get a really nice January or February, immediately the prognosticators all go, oh my God, it's drying up. We're going to blow off in a dust storm in March.
Oh, we were saying that too.
Yeah, well, we kind of.
Right, okay.
But we have the report from Rufus this morning at the Weather Cafe, and he is pretty specific about how April's going to go.
Out like a lamb, soaking wet lamb indeed, Drip City. I guess that's what we're being called. And there are plenty more drippy days ahead, he said. Coffee's up, so let's check up what's in the rainmaker.
Well, this weekend, if you look outside or you send the dog outside to do its business and it comes back wet, that's what it is. It's going to be wet out there. There may be a few breaks this afternoon, but next week is also going to be just like they said on the weather report. It's going to be wet till maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. There might be a little bit of a break in between the rain showers. Not enough to really accomplish anything, but just enough to give us a chance to get out and about and get a little vitamin D, but shortly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the forecast, and everything is 100% chance of showers. There's a 60% chance of showers, 60%, 50%, but mostly we're looking at rain.
Yeah, 50.
And it's great. It's fine. We need the water, the soaking up. The river obviously needs to flood the golf course one or two more times.
At least. It's got to flood at least one more time before it's fit for me to play.
Right, exactly.
I like to play in mud under greens.
Yeah.
However, the first weekend in April is going to be just as totally wet as you can imagine. And actually, it's going to be the next 2 or 3 weeks. The temperature is going to move back and forth from seasonal to below average. It's April.
Right.
April showers bring May flowers, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that's not the only thing they bring, too. They bring plumage of fungus, too. I mean, this is the time. I look at the temperature that it's going to be out there, and all it's saying is this is prime time for funguses.
Yeah, funguses and your moss will love it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So we've got rain. That's all we have. Basically, as far as weather goes, that's what's going on. If you want to get into the garden, you're going to have to deal with the rain, and you're going to have to deal with everything else that comes with it, muddy.
Yeah.
And I hope that if you needed to till, you got to that, because there was a brief period this past week where I had the thought, let's go ahead and till, because it wasn't too muddy.
Right.
I could have done the first 6 inches of the soil.
That's tricky.
I didn't. It is, and that's I had that brief window. Did not take advantage of it. Regretting it now.
Yeah. If you have any questions on whether it's time to go out and do the rototiller, go out and put a shovel in the ground and turn it up and take the dirt. And if it makes a ball, forget it.
Right. If you've
got squeeze it in your hand.
If water comes out.
If water comes out, this is not good.
Right.
But if it kind of crumbles up, then it's perfect.
Okay.
It can be dark and it can be damp and it can be wet, But if you can make a ball and then crumble it in your fingers, you're good. Go ahead and fire up the old rototiller and get right after it that afternoon, because it's going to rain tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, I pulled up some weeds, and I tried out some different kinds of tools, trying to prepare the soil for the spring that's coming up. And I tell you what, the most effective weed killer is the human hand.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. It's a lot of work, because I tried, one of those garden weasels, and I tried a new fancy hoe, and, just getting down and picking up the weeds. That was the easiest thing to do, because it seemed like the two other tools I was actually having to go over with my hand anyway.
Well, one advantage of having a soaking wet, muddy, or wet flower bed or garden area is if you have mulched it, it's probably going to be okay to walk on.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just bare dirt, it's going to be slimy. You're going to go down about 2 inches every step. But the chickweed and the purslane pull up really easily, and you get a big majority of their root systems.
Yeah, and what the problem that I've run into is some of the overwintering grass has come up in the garden, and those root systems, if you get them when they're young, you're right, you can just pull them right up easy enough. But they have spread, and they have gone everywhere, and they're deep down. And they've got those fine little root hairs, but there are thousands of them for this one little small grass.
Yeah.
And so you have to take advantage of when it is time like this. Otherwise, gosh, if you wait until the soil turns to clay, it's just not going to happen.
Well, if you get a hold of a big clump of grass and you're rocking back on your heels to pull on it, you want to be careful, because when that sucker lets loose, you're going down.
You're going down. You've got a new forehead mark or something.
A clump of dirt like a basketball.
Right, and that's what I'm coming up with. It's amazing that that's why you have to take care of the stuff in the fall before they're allowed to survive over the winter.
I remember that vinegar recipe we got.
We have a follow-up for that, don't we?
Yes.
Why don't you tell the ingredients of this recipe, and the reason we even gave it out is because it did seem interesting enough, but it's not something that OSU has tested, or there's no scientific research, so we put you to work on that.
There actually, now that I've done some more research, there is some information at OSU's website about the use of acetic acid as a foliage defoliant. It causes the veins to shrink up, and so they don't transpire. They don't do any exchange of air.
So what we were talking about is an herbicide recipe that you found. And so what was in the recipe?
Well, it was sent to me, and it's very simple. It starts out with a half gallon of apple cider vinegar that has at least a 10 to 20% acetic acid content. Then you throw in half a cup of just plain table salt, and then you throw in just 1 tablespoon of Dawn dish detergent. And the dish detergent keeps the vinegar and the salt sticking to the plant,
right? So
that's what actually kills it. Now, the downside is it only is safe to use this like on walkways, driveways, gravel walkways, open flower beds where nothing else is up yet.
And why is that, Ray?
Because it kills everything.
It is non-discriminate.
It doesn't choose what it kills. It kills anything that's green because it shuts down even
evergreens, right?
Even evergreens, perennials. It's wicked, but it doesn't last very long. The beauty of it is it does its duty, and in like 24 hours or so, the rain dilutes it and it goes away, and you don't really have to worry that much about changing the pH in your soil, even though you're using salt and you're using a very astringent acid.
So if you're going to go after those thousands of daffodils in the yard, what? Oh. No, you use it? You don't use it? What do you think?
Oh, I would not. Not.
Just because there's too much collateral damage, as they say, right?
Yeah, because any overspray is going to be a zone of death. So you'd end up having like a big brown polka dot lawn. And My dog does that to the neighbor's lawn anyway, but there's little bitty tiny polka dots.
Right, exactly.
You know, they're small, and you sprinkle a quarter of a cup of lime over the spots, and it raises the pH back up again so that the grass really doesn't care.
So keep it to the sidewalks and tennis courts.
Yeah, keep it to open space. Tennis courts is good. Give yourself some collateral area.
Yeah.
Unless you're really, really, taking like the little spongy paintbrush and painting the leaves of one dandelion.
You're not doing that.
No, not even.
Oh my gosh, that is funny though. You just have a little paintbrush and a dipper can, and you just paint it on each leaf. That could be satisfying.
It would be a very personal rapport with
exactly.
Death
it's almost
of an irritant. Yeah.
We're on the same page there. It's
God, that's
just
morbid.
Painting. Oh, I bet this hurts. I could hear you cry. Yeah. Oh, that's so nice.
Sick people.
Oh man, gardeners hate their weeds. That's for sure.
Yep. So anyway, enjoy the weather as it is. This is Ray and Kyle at To the Root of It on KLYC Radio. We've got to take our first break. Our phone number here, if you have questions, is 503-435-1260, which, amazingly enough, is the numbers of the radio station, 1260 on your radio dial.
That's right, and we'll be right back. You're listening to The Root of It right here on KLYC.
AM 1260 KLYC, and we do want to thank Recology Northwest Greenlands for being a sponsor of To the Root of It. And we are right now at Recology talking to Nick Olheiser, the supervisor lead here in McMinnville. Nick, thank you for sponsoring the program.
Thank you very much.
So you and I were talking just before we started making this interview, was that the weather's been kind of crazy, but we're going to be heading into spring. What's going on now at Recology?
A lot of new things happening. Spring coming up. Hopefully the weather permits us to have a good Earth Day coming up here in mid-April. We will be having discounts, prizes, site tours, different kind of raffles, and everything for you and your family to come out and hopefully enjoy the weather, enjoy the staff, and get some product for your garden and your yard.
So what are you selling right now here in this time of year?
We're still selling pretty much all of our in-yard products. It'll range from anywhere from a rock to all the barks. We have soil mixes, the compost. We're still doing the concrete mixing station services. We still have the blower truck services and delivery services pretty much anywhere in the local community, even some of the out communities as well.
What are your prices?
They're going to range from anywhere from about $15 for the half yards all the way up to the $30, $35 range for a full yard.
Now, one of the nice things about having Recology here in McMinnville, it's very convenient to come down and get a truckload, or how small quantities do you sell?
As far as in-yard pickup truckload, we go all the way down to a half yard, and then we go up to however much you want to take at once, and you can come back and make several trips and get as much as you need, or if you're wanting to save a little bit of time, we can go ahead and deliver that right to your doorstep.
And how do they contact you?
Be either through the phone, which is 503-434-1671, or as well, we also have our new website all set up, which is compostoregon.com. It has all of our pricing and on hours as well as our address.
And your hours here at Recology Northwest Greenlands in McMinnville?
It's going to be 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday is 9 to 4.
Talking to Nick Olheiser, the supervisor lead for Recology Northwest Greenlands, sponsor here of To the Root of It on AM 1260 KLYC. Today, you need to be as efficient as possible to stay in business, and that has never been as true as it is today in agriculture. Coming up Thursday, April 3rd, you will have a chance to see how technology can help you plant, grow, and harvest more efficiently. Technology is now available for the medium to even small ag producer. You can see how remote sensing, drones, robots, and aerial imaging is helping today's producers, even the small producers. Tomorrow's technology is here today, and for only $10, you can attend the show and see the very latest in technology. You won't be asked to buy anything, but you simply owe it to yourself and your operation to see what's available. Who knows? May give you some ideas. You're invited from 9 to 4 at the Evergreen Aviation and Space Museum, Thursday, April 3rd. That day, $10 will allow you to see the museum exhibits and the Precision Farming Expo displays. Tickets sold at the door, 9 to 4, Thursday, April 3rd, at the Evergreen Aviation and Space Museum. We'll see you there.
Confused by so many national brand hotel reward programs? Blackout dates, expiration dates, different points for different hotel rewards, and gimmicks? At Shiloh Inn Suites Hotels, it's simple. No blackout dates for any rewards stay. If we have a room available, it's yours. Hi, I'm Mark Hemstreet, owner of Shiloh Inns. As a rewards member, you'll receive free room upgrades, a dedicated personal agent to help book your stay, points that don't expire, points that can be used for free nights at any one of our beautiful hotels, or donations to your local school or free airline tickets, and much more. And as a special bonus, you'll earn 100 free bonus points just for signing up. From your very first stay, you receive free Wi-Fi, free breakfast at most locations. The kids stay free. We don't charge ridiculous resort or parking fees, and we're dog friendly. Shiloh Inns, affordable excellence. American-owned and proud of it.
It's National Ag Week. Celebrate Oregon agriculture and the Oregon farmers and ranchers protecting wildlife and natural resource for generations. For more than 40 years, Oregon Women for Agriculture have supported and been a part of Oregon's farms and ranches. An all-volunteer statewide organization, Oregon Women for Agriculture provides Get Organized history books and other educational materials to local school children, helping them and their teachers learn all about Oregon, farming, fishing, food, fiber, flowers, and forestry provided for everyone. We invite you to join Oregon Women for Agriculture as we fund projects that support agriculture at county levels, meetings, and state conferences, fairs, and other events, and give you the opportunity to network with other women who share the same passion for agriculture. For more information, see our website at owaonline.org.
And welcome back, Yamhill County. This is To the Root of It right here on KLYC. We've been talking about the weather that we've had this week, and big news, it's rain.
Yep.
Okay. So we've also got the annual plant sale that's going to be coming up in one short month, which means that the Yamhill County Master Gardeners are busy at work getting in the greenhouse,
Friday,
developing all these things.
Yep. Oh.
And so
we'll try to get that phone call here in just a second. But yes, the greenhouse is full, the shade garden's full, the back area behind is all full. Everything that we've got for storage space is full. People's private greenhouses are full.
And the phone line has been answered.
Excellent. Good morning.
Good morning. Who do we have on the phone?
Good morning.
Phone line has been answered.
I wasn't here when you guys were talking about finding a tree for me, Mike Weibel.
Mike? Oh, yes. You wanted the quince.
Yes.
Okay, we did. Oh, I'm sorry you missed that. I do have that. Oh, yes. You wanted the quince. I have that note to myself. Okay, we did. Oh, I'm sorry you missed that. I do have One Green World up in Portland. Their sales lot is out on 134th and Stark, and you can find them on the internet just by typing in One Green World. Their excuse me. Their nursery is out in Clackamas County, out by Molalla, and they grow varieties of quince that will be more than enough to satisfy your curiosity. And most of them are dwarf quinces. They don't sell the 40-foot varieties. Even their Russian quince is a small tree. It's not listed as being dwarf per se, but the beauty of it is they've got about 6 or 8 varieties, depending on what you want to do with it, whether you want to can it, make jelly, cook with it, or eat it when it's ripe, which it's a very tasty fruit.
But you said they had tons of varieties, right?
Yeah, they have like 6 or 8 varieties, not tons, but 6 or 8 varieties. They're all nice-sized plants, and they're under $40. All of them. Some of them as low as $29.95.
I found some old quince on an old place.
Oh.
Grandmother had.
Okay.
2 quince, and I made quince jelly out of it. and
Okay.
it's really tasty.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
Quince apple.
oh yeah, it's a neat tasting fruit. It's totally different. It's got a nice tang to it. But that's where you can go to get trees. They're in the 3 to 5 year old bracket, so they're actually fairly decently established. You could go up and pick one up this afternoon and plant it Tuesday afternoon. I guess is our best day. So anyway, yes, that was our information we had for you. The place is called One Green World, and they have what you want. Do you have a computer at home?
Yeah. Do they sell these individually to people?
Yes,
Or
it
do
is
they
a
sell them
it's
in
a
lots?
yeah no. It's just a regular retail nursery. Well,
Okay.
well worth the drive to go up and take a peek.
Yeah.
So anyway,
One World.
One Green World.
One Green.
Yeah, Google it for directions because I'm not that familiar with the East Portland area. So anyway, thank you for calling back. We were starting to wonder if you ever got the message.
You know, there is one or two nurseries up there.
Yes, but Google it for the directions to One Green World outlet. And from here, I think you could even go over to the nursery in Molalla. But, yeah, check out their website. We thank you
Okay.
kindly, sir, for calling back. We'll catch up with you later. And you all have a good time planting that quince.
I will.
All righty.
All
Thank
right,
you, sir.
thanks.
We'll catch up with you later. And you
So
all
that
have
was
a
the
good time
answer to the
planting that
quince?
Yes. And
I will.
all righty. Thank you, sir. They're absolutely beautiful plants. You can see them online. They've got images and what the fruit actually looks like, and it's a great place to go shopping for things.
Yep.
But anyway, and they don't even pay us to say that.
They don't. But to talk about the Master Gardener's plant sales that we actually do benefit from
Yeah.
immediately, we do have our yearly sale coming up in one short month. It's going to be on the 26th of April. It's a really great source for the local gardeners here to get their hands on some lovingly grown Master Gardener.
Oh,
plants.
these are genuinely grown by master gardeners in our greenhouse.
No, wait, how do you phrase it? Because the way you phrase it is perfect.
Well, I got to be
The
careful. there.
loving
the
old-
loving hand of little old ladies
Right.
grow these.
Right, exactly. And who doesn't want some pansies from a
Well, because they're
loving
not
old lady?
all little old ladies. Some of them are actually pretty young.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so
Right.
I got to be careful when I say that.
But the way that you say it, though, it's perfect. It's a really it's a tagline.
I've never had anything fail that I bought there,
It's so true.
unless I really did something stupid,
Right.
like over fertilize it, and it grows up and falls over and lays there in the garden gasping for
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But it's definitely something that well, first of all, the show will be going live there. That's really a
yes,
fun
we
thing
will
to
be.
do from.
Yeah, we'll be live from the garden center or from Leslie Lewis Pavilion at the fairgrounds.
Right, and that's where it's going to be, and it's going to be from 9 until
3 parking. The parking gates open at 8:00. It is free to park. To get in is free. You ain't getting out of there without a Visa card.
Right.
Yeah, but they will take check, cash, and Visa.
And one of the main reasons that we even brought this topic up is because we got an email from a listener that was concerned that we weren't talking about it because they didn't know where to find the information, right?
Well, they apparently had forgotten that we actually have a Master Gardener website that where the plant sale flyer is posted.
Mm-hmm.
And it is April the 26th. It's a Saturday. It's traditionally the last Saturday in April,
Mm-hmm.
and has been for the last several years, many years. And it's at the Leslie Lewis Pavilion at the fairgrounds, and the hours are from 9 till 3, and there's no food available or refreshment of any kind. They do have a heck of a potluck, but it's only for the vendors and volunteers.
What's really great about it is the 9 to 3. It's only 6 short hours, but really with the way that the line is in the morning, a lot of the choice selections are gone within the first 3 hours. It's just
Not this
decimated.
year.
It's like locusts
Not this year.
come in and roar.
Oh, no. That has been an issue where, like, all of some particular variety's gone by 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And I've seen some real scrambles at the tomato table that are
Yes,
not
exactly.
pretty.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, people get a little grabby. So you get the top half of the tomato and somebody else gets the 4-inch pot.
Well, when there's only one indigo rose left, I mean, you've just got to have it. Yeah.
There's going to be enough quantity of varieties this year to where if you don't get there till 10 o'clock in the morning, you're going to be able to get some of the best stuff still there because there's going to be lots and lots of...
Well, the heirloom tomatoes, we've got the Black Krim, Brandywine, German Stripe, Manitoba, Mortgage Lifter, and the Pineapple.
Right.
And so that's just tomato varieties that are going to be... Those are the ones that are in the greenhouse right now, right?
Oh, yes. They are up and growing. They've already they've been transplanted. They're just being groomed, and they're sitting there just getting taller and taller and taller. Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite one of those?
The Pineapple, I think, is my favorite out of all of those.
My favorite is the Mortgage Lifter. I'd never heard of it till a couple of years.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, it's a nice basic green, no, they're all green to start with, but it ripens and turns a really dark red when it's ripe. I mean, just crayon red.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably one of the juiciest ones I've ever eaten. When you eat it, the tomato juice just runs down the side of your cheeks.
And it's not like the plastic ones that you get in the restaurants.
It's not crunchy.
Grocery store, the crunchy.
No.
It's not pale.
Oh, and on a hamburger, they just add so much flavor because it's a very distinct flavor. But the basic tomatoes like Beefsteak, Celebrity, Early Girl, Glacier, Green Zebra, Quality T23, Red Cherry, you only need one of them, that's for sure. Saucy, if you're into making soup sauces, pasta sauces, that kind of stuff, you'll need a couple of them. These are all mega producers.
But my favorite one's Sun Gold.
Yeah, that's another one that's just absolutely delicious. And the Sweet Million, I'll keep a bowl of them in the refrigerator until my tongue is raw. Best eaten with a little saucer of salt. Dip it in the salt and pop it in your mouth.
And then so also in the greenhouse right now, what they've got growing summer squashes, parsley, eggplant, winter squash, kale, lettuce. I'm gonna have to drop into the greenhouse.
There's 5 varieties of peppers. Most of them are fairly short duration. We don't grow any that require like 120, 130 days. You can't do it in Yamhill County.
Nope.
Most of these are going to be in the 70 to 90 day varieties, so they'll well be ripened by the 1st of September.
Right.
So if you get your tomatoes and you get them in the ground by the first week of June, and your peppers right alongside of them, you should have peppers and tomatoes at the same time. And if you've over-summered a bunch of onions, you got salsa.
Are you saying salsa? Yeah,
I
salsa.
am. Yeah.
Yep.
But there's also eggplants, kales, 4 varieties of lettuce. These are all up and growing. They're going to be ready.
That's incredible.
They're just beautiful. You got to go over and take a peek at it.
And then there are the plants that you don't eat necessarily. The dahlias, the marigolds, and heliotropes. Those are all in the greenhouse in the Yamhill County Master Gardener greenhouse that's at the Yamhill County Fairgrounds.
Petunias, geraniums, alyssum, lobelia, salvia, heliotropes, all your basic patio pot stuff.
I feel like a slacker because none of these things are in my garden right now. Right now, the extent of the living activity of my garden is probably my overwintering grapes. Like that's the maybe I have currant that are coming out right now that are blooming, and not blooming, but the leaves are out, and that's about it. But the greenhouse, it's a big greenhouse, but it's got all of this life that my garden is completely lacking.
Yeah, just make sure your Visa card's paid up before you go there, because it's going to be in pain when you leave.
I've got clover growing on the compost, but really there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on in my garden comparable to this.
Well, there's open warfare going on in my garden because
obviously you're spraying vinegar all over the place.
Yeah. Well, I've only done it once, and it worked once.
It's like World War I mustard gas release or something.
Yeah, but everything else is coming up. My penstemons sprouted. The only
Why
thing,
wouldn't they? Of course they were. They're penstemons.
Yep. And the big leafy things, hostas. My hostas are all up.
Yeah.
And so I noticed a little sparkly trail of slug slime heading towards the hostas, so they are now bathed in slug deterrent.
Well, see, that's a good point, because you could use that spray, right? It's got enough salt in there. That could be a sluggo deterrento.
Yeah, but I can't catch the little beggars in the daylight. I'd have to be out there like 10 o'clock at night with my flashlight.
Yeah, my grass overgrown garden fiasco in a little area where I was pulling up with my hand. I encountered dozens of slugs. They enjoyed the area very much. Like, hey, thank you for providing this. What are you doing though?
That's actually not a bad idea. Maybe I'll try that tonight, because Lolly has her ritual that has to happen at like 9:45.
Right.
Because that's her bedtime.
Mm-hmm.
And so she goes and stands by the door, and it's like, hey, last trip out here, boss.
And Lolly is a dog, not a significant other.
No. Well, she's pretty significant in her own little world, though. The wife is much easier to get along with than the dog.
Right, so the dog's going outside. And
so anyway, I'm going to go outside with a flashlight, and I still got about a half a bottle of vinegar salt solution. So I may go out and spread a little death. Yeah, hey, take this, you slimy... Oh, never mind. Yeah, now I'm getting too enthusiastic about killing stuff again.
That's right. Maybe do it with a paintbrush.
Well, when I think back, before I took the Master Gardener program, I was not, shall we say, ecologically, politically correct.
Oh no! You took the easy road.
I wasted a lot of money on stuff. My garden was it was a dangerous place to walk barefoot.
Yeah, recovering chemaholic. Overuse of them.
I'm recovering from my chemical dependency.
Right, and what I used is I tried the Roundup in my garden area, and I got a lot of the stuff. But I think what has happened is there's a patch. There are two patches where the grass did not die, and it looks perfectly manicured. And I think what may have happened is I may have had at some point some Roundup resistant grass get into my area, because everything else around it is just completely dead. But there's this area, and I know that I sprayed it twice. So that it is interesting. But speaking to the chemical dependency, everything else around it, and I'm talking about, at least a 100 by 100 space is brown, and it looks great. It looks substantial. It's like something I can work with now, because there are no elusive weeds other than this little patch in this little area. But I'm at OSU in any of the extension office. We say, chemical last resort, use other means. But sometimes starting from ground zero is the best option.
Well, Oregon State doesn't absolutely forego the use of Roundup, because
exactly.
as a herbicide, it's probably the shortest half-life, and it can be used in flower beds and garden beds and things like that, and it's probably has the shortest half-life. Mm-hmm. It will biodegrade very, very quickly. It's why they still let you use that. Most of the really heavy-duty killers, you got to be licensed to use or take a class. And those classes are provided through the extension office as well.
Because they can be neurotoxins to humans, whereas Roundup is...
Make frogs have 3 eyes. And
exactly.
Yeah, there's issues.
Mm-hmm.
The Willamette River is got issues because of groundwater runoff and things of that nature. And you can blister your skin pretty good if you don't shower after you go water skiing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and even the Mississippi Delta is actually having some problems with this, with quite possibly what they believe is like a Roundup, a glyphosate runoff, salt buildup kind of thing that's going on down there. But no chemical is safe. But there are times when It's okay.
Yeah, or if necessary, if you're going to be like you're restarting a lawn.
Exactly.
And you want to kill everything really dead.
And that's essentially what I'm doing. You're absolutely right. You get everything, and you let it sit, and then you put down the grass seed or the turf or however you're going to handle it. But there are some points where you want everything gone.
Right. But you still got to pick a good day when it's not real windy so it doesn't blow all over your azaleas.
Or the neighbor's azaleas.
Or the neighbor's grapes. Oh, that'll get you spanked.
Right.
And you need to have a temperature at which the plants are actively absorbing moisture and sunlight and doing their normal plant digestion phase.
Which is
let's
usually
call it that.
58 degrees, about 60 degrees usually.
55 to 60 degrees minimum.
Yep.
Yeah. Otherwise, it just sits there and nobody dies.
But and since we're on that topic, was because when I did spray, it was 40 degrees. It was 45 degrees, and this was about 2 months ago, and it was like nothing happened because usually you see a result within 2 or 3 days. I'm like, well, that didn't work because it was too cold and maybe there was a little bit of rain. But within 3 weeks or a month, everything was just gone.
It's slower, but it'll happen.
And it worked. It was weird, but it was pretty effective.
Right now, though, with the temperature the way it is, a lot of things that we really don't want on our plants are growing just fine, and we'll discuss some of these as soon as we get back from the break. So our phone number is 503-435-1260. This is Ray and Kyle with To the Root of It.
AM 1260 KLYC, To the Root of It, and sponsor for To the Root of It here is Recology Northwest Greenlands, having a facility here in McMinnville. We're talking to Nick Olheiser, the supervisor lead. Now, Recology Northwest Greenlands has undergone a bit of a change in their corporate structure and their name and so on and so forth, but they're still here in McMinnville, still here to provide quality mulch and garden products.
Yeah, absolutely. About 3 years ago, we were purchased by a San Francisco-based company called Recology. Basically, it's just been a rebranding for us in a sense. We've changed a few of our processes that we do here on site. Other than that, everything's the same. We still offer the same services, the same great staff, and the same competitive prices as well.
So if you need something you mulch for your garden, your operation, come down here to Recology. One of the things we're very excited about is April 19th. You're going to have a big event here, and we're going to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be our celebration for Earth Day. We do it every year. I think this is our 6th or 7th annual one. We're going to be having discounts. We'll have site tours. We're going to have raffles and drawings. We're giving away free deliveries. Everything and anything you could want, come on out and come visit us and come see what we have going on.
And To the Root of It on April 19th, we'll be coming to you live from Recology, which is just up the road from the radio station. But one of the things we want to do with To the Root of It, as much as possible, take it on location. Obviously, we want to wait till the weather's warm. But April 19th, we'll definitely be here at Recology Northwest Greenlands doing a show, and Ray and Kyle will be here talking about the products they have here and how you can use it in your applications.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be out here, like I said. We'll go through. We're going to have a few demonstrations, exhibits, and kind of show you benefits to composting and what it does for your soil, and other benefits that you can have around your yard with it as well.
Now, when people talk about Recology Northwest Greenlands, what do you want them to think of as what you provide or the company?
I want them to realize that we are the new face of composting in a sense. This is kind of where the industry is shifting towards the more organics side of it. And I want us to be the front runners, and I want us to be more involved in the community, and I want them to know all about us when they hear our name.
And where are you located? What are your hours?
2200 Northeast Orchard Avenue here in McMinnville, and hours are going to be 8 to 4 Monday through Friday and 9 to 4 Saturday.
Talking to Nick Olheiser and Recology Northwest Greenlands, the sponsor of To the Root of It, right here on AM 1260 KLYC.
Out West Tax Service is targeting tax savings for you. Taxes can be stressful, but having someone you can work with to keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket by utilizing the current tax laws is the way to go. Don't take chances with over-the-counter software. Don't miss out on tax breaks, tax credits, or simply understanding your real tax situation. Save yourself the stress this tax season. Get your taxes done right. Call Out West Tax Service at 503-554-1444 and utilize Patricia Hofer's 20 years of experience. Patricia Hofer and Out West Tax Service are members of the National Association of Tax Professionals, the Oregon Association of Tax Consultants, Oregon Board of Tax Practitioners, Consultant License 28438C, Business License B15243. Out West Tax Service is targeting tax savings for you.
Hurrah! It's National Ag Week. We're celebrating Oregon agriculture and National Agriculture this week. Saluting Oregon's family farms and ranches and their sustainability that provide for Oregon and beyond. Agriculture keeps Oregon growing. We are Oregon Women for Agriculture, and we believe that farming is everybody's business. After all, almost everything we eat or use starts on a farm. This message brought to you by Oregon Women for Agriculture, connecting women with interest in educating the public about the importance of agriculture to Oregon and its economy. Get involved and become a member of our all-volunteer, statewide Oregon Women for Agriculture today. Find out more at oawonline.org. Celebrating Oregon agriculture. Eat it, wear it, use it.
Why get in shape? Well, let's talk to some of the folks at Snap Fitness in McMinnville on why they stay in shape and how Snap Fitness helps.
Nick Newcomb. I like that it's open 24 hours. I like that no matter if I'm on vacation or if I move homes, it's in all the cities and I can use it across the states. It's nice because it's always clean. There's always friendly people there, staff that are willing to help.
Snap Fitness, 24/7 access, modern equipment, and staff to help you get and stay in shape. Right now, when you mention you heard this ad on KLYC, you get a choice of 2 offers. No enrollment fee and 10% off every month for new members, or pay for 3 months and get the 4th month free with the purchase of a $25 access card. It's a great time to sign up if you're transferring from another gym. Hey, try a 7-day trial pass to see if it's a good fit. Call Michael at 503-379-0065, located on Keck Drive next to Albertsons. Snap Fitness.
And welcome back. You are right here to the root of it on KLYC 1260 AM. We've been talking about the effects of rain and how perfect right now it is for some things. And one of those things is the fungus.
Yeah, fungus and moss love this. As do lawn grasses. They're starting to perk up too. Mm-hmm. I'm telling people it's okay to go out and sprinkle a little bit of fertilizer on it now. Don't overdo it though, because we could still have frost up until May the 15th.
Right.
And you don't want to get your lawn
too excited and then
then get frosted. But peach leaf curl is another thing that is just loving this.
And the reason I wanted to bring up the peach leaf curl because it's the symptoms are indicative of not just this fungus, this particular peach fungus, but a lot of the trees out there that if they get some kind of fungus, these are the symptoms that they're going to exhibit.
Yeah, it's going to be slow to come on, but you'll see a red tinge and red spots start to develop on the leaves.
Yeah, and it's just to be more specific, it's a disease caused by fungus, and it's one of the most common diseases in the backyard for gardeners and trees. It's something that's mostly seen, and this is the peach leaf curl, but a leaf curl, I think, in general. You can see it on a lot of the plants, agricultural or otherwise, and it's the distorted reddened foliage, and that's what's striking about it. If you see this, it's more than likely a fungus that's been sitting in since the bud, and it affects the peaches, ornamental flowering peaches and nectarines, mostly on the blossoms, the fruit, leaves, and new shoots.
Right. It appears like I said, it appears as reddish areas when it first getting started, and then these areas become kind of thicker and puckered. Yeah, puckered is a good word.
Yeah, sure.
And the leaves start to pucker, and hence the term peach leaf curl. They actually roll right up, and then as it progresses, they turn yellow, and then eventually they get brown, and they may or may not fall off. But once those fall off, it doesn't generally affect the tree itself, because it will make new leaves.
Right.
But your fruit this year is going to be really diminished, because it's during the time when you need to have the blossoms in case any pollinator flies by on a sunny afternoon. Otherwise, you're going to have no crop.
Yeah. And it's the distortion. It almost looks like the leaf is growing in slow motion, because normally you might wake up one morning and see all of a sudden there are leaves. They just pop up overnight. And whereas with this one of the symptoms is that you don't get that pop, we're open now. It's because we've got this thing that's been coloring and
it sucks the life out of them.
And so you just see it slowly opening, and it's just it's almost like the snail circle on the shell. You can see that unfolding slowly.
It's not going to bother the basic tree. But it will affect new shoots, and so in that sense, it could possibly affect your crop next year as well. If your new shoots that are growing this year, that should be your blossoming shoots next year, that should be your fruiting shoots eventually, they will shrivel up, be distorted, and die back 2 or 3 inches. So that kills it.
This is a normal thing. This is something that's been going on longer than man. So the trees are used to having this on them, and but so they have other places for their fruit to grow. It can't get on all of the places all at once. It's just that if you're expecting your peaches, you might have a sore year. But that's the whole reason that we spray beforehand.
If you get it and you see it and you identify it, by this time of the year, it's pretty much already done its damage. But you can be aware of it being in your tree's vicinity, so there are ways to prevent it next year. And one of those is to make sure you rake up all these leaves and do not mulch them. Throw them in the garbage, because that's where the fungal spores are hiding. And you want to get that all cleaned up. And then next winter, give her a good spray, a dormant spray, the lime sulfur spray or anything like that is for leaf curl.
Right, because the most popular place for the fungus to hide out is in those dead leaves, but the other place is in the bark and in the areas on the tree. So that's why you give it the dormant spray for anything that's hiding out in the cracks of the bark, around the buds and around the new growth area.
Well, if you are planning ahead in your garden, and that's a good thing to do during this time of the year as well, since we're not going to go out and work in a garden. Let's plan.
Right.
Let's get out our little sketchbook.
It is far too muddy.
But the best thing to do is when the tree is dormant to go ahead and give it a good spray. And in areas where there's high rainfall, you may have to do it a couple of times. Late in the dormant season, like February, March, is about as late as you can get away with spraying and actually be effective. The active ingredient that you need to have in it is copper. And the most commonly used fungicides available to home gardeners have been fixed copper products. The active ingredient copper is listed as metallic copper equivalent, or MCE.
Metallic copper equivalent, and that's going to be on the label.
You got to read the label and make sure you're getting what you need. Otherwise, you just spend a bunch of money for nothing.
Yeah, so the higher the MCE, which is the metallic copper equivalent, the greater the amount of copper and the more effective the copper product will be.
If you get the generic copper sulfate, it's really good for a lot of things, too. It also, anthracnose was the one that I was trying to remember, the thing that eats the leaves off of the...
now you can't remember what...
Now I can't remember. Lilacs, and it's coming. It's rolling around. The BB's almost there.
No.
It's gone.
It's gone. So there are also fixed copper products that you can get, but the main thing that you want to do to prevent this leaf curl, this fungus, is a copper product. It just goes ahead and it annihilates it. And the higher the MCE, the better. You went, ba-ding! What happened?
The light came on. It's dogwoods. Your
dogwoods.
Ornamental dogwoods.
Yeah.
Ornamental dogwoods, lilacs, roses, the copper sulfate sprays really work well on a lot of your leafy perennials to prevent black spot and rust and leaf curl on peaches. Mm-hmm. It's also used on apple trees for apple scab and things that affect some of the other apple trees.
Yeah, and the important reason that we're bringing this up is because the prevention that hopefully we talked about earlier in the season is helping, because right now is the optimum temperature, it's the optimum weather, it's the optimum everything for these mold in the funguses.
Funguses. Once it gets over 45 degrees and gets up to between 45 and 60 degrees during the afternoons, even though it's pouring down rain, that just makes it a nice warm moisture, because the spores are on the bottoms of the limbs and the bottoms of the leaves, and they're protected.
Optimum temperature, 48 degrees to 68 degrees. That's where these they like it the most, and that's essentially what we're dealing with here coming up. Everything's going to get
right
high.
now.
The maximum is 79 to 87. So once it gets up to the 80s, these stop growing. They can't deal with the heat. They just shut down, and that's when they die. That's why they over summer.
Right.
They're not hanging out until they get these cooler, wetter temperatures.
Yeah, the leaves fall off, and that's when you got to really clean up well. So, but the other thing that really loves this kind of weather is the moss in your lawn. And there are those who don't like moss, even though it is green year round and requires less water.
Yes.
There are actual moss gardeners.
Yes, we know them, and next week I think we're going to have to talk about the moss.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it really is. This is we talk about the molds and the funguses. That's what they're loving right now. But we're going to take another break, and we'll get back and shut things down here. But right now you're listening to The Root of It right here on KLYC.
AM 1260 KLYC. We want to thank Recology Northwest Greenlands for sponsoring To the Root of It. It's because of their financial support makes it possible for us to have this program on the radio. We very, very much appreciate it. Talking to Nick Olheiser, who is the project lead at Recology Northwest Greenlands in McMinnville, there is a shift in the industry towards more organics, more naturals, and not chemicals and pesticides and unnatural fertilizers, but getting back to nature, right?
Exactly, yes. We're trying to get away from the man-made fertilizers that are so often used nowadays, trying to shift more into the organics and trying to educate individuals on the long-term benefits as well as the short-term benefits of organics. It's not good for just a year. It's good for 10 years. It's helping to restructure the soil, and it's not just providing instant nutrients. It's good in every way.
And it's also a lot safer to handle.
Absolutely, yes. It does not have, like you mentioned, the chemicals, the pesticides in it. So, yes, it's completely organic. Everything out here is OMRI listed, and it's good to go and put directly in your soil.
So come out here with your pickup truck. What kind of containers should people come out? Pickup truck, dump truck, what?
We can do pickup truck, dump trucks, trailers, whatever you have. You can also we do 5-gallon bucket sales if you just need something small for just a little in-house garden or backyard garden that you may have. We can do 30-gallon containers, whatever you have. We'll make sure we meet your needs.
And phone number, do you have a website or a Facebook page?
Yes, we actually just got a brand new website all up and running with our prices as well as our hours and our address, and that's at www.compostoregon.com.
And again, phone number?
503-434-1671.
And don't forget, April 19th is Earth Day here. We're going to be doing To the Root of It live here at Recology Northwest Greenlands in McMinnville, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Us too. Come visit us. We'll have discounts. We'll have raffles, prizes, site tours, exhibits, everything and anything you can think of. We'll be here for you.
What are the hours on Earth Day on the 19th?
It will be 8 to 6 on Saturday.
Well, Nick, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
AM 1260 KLYC, talking to Nick Olheiser, the project lead at Recology Northwest Greenlands in McMinnville, sponsor of To the Root of It on AM 1260 KLYC. Sound. What is it like to not really hear it? And then you can. It can change your life. About 20% of adults in the United States report some degree of hearing loss. Are you one of those? Our very own Eric Elliott was, and after a visit to McMinnville Hearing Center and Greg Arnone, that has been changed.
It definitely made a difference in my life, and I've only had them in a week. My wife doesn't have to, the marriage is better now. She doesn't have to constantly repeat herself. In what I do for a living, I have to be able to hear, and I have to be able to talk. The clarity is absolutely incredible.
Greg Arnone and the staff at McMinnville Hearing Center are dedicated to helping you enjoy life by hearing better. Call to schedule a free consultation, 503-472-5554, 325 Northeast Baker Creek Road, across from First Federal.
There's plenty to be excited about because I now have hearing again.
McMinnville Hearing Center, 325 Northeast Baker Creek Road, across from First Federal. Call 503-472-5554. We play your music, KLYC, McMinnville, Newburgh.
And you are back right here, To the Root of It, right here on KLYC. You've been, we've been talking about the rain and how it's affecting the fungus, the moss. We'll get into next week.
There's lots of things you can go out and do in the garage, though, on a rainy day. Last weekend I took and rebuilt all my patio pots, brought them in, let them drip dry for a little while, and put new bulbs in them, so they're all ready to go. And it doesn't hurt to go ahead and take an eye. If you haven't already, go ahead and look at your tools and make sure that they're sharp and things are like that.
That's what we like to say here because that's what we're going to go out with. Right now, I'm looking outside the studio right now here in McMinnville, and there is a brief spot of sun. I don't know if there's anything to do with with that, but drive home and delve into March Madness. So, other than that, Ray, I'm going to sign off now.
Okay, that's about it for today. We thank you. We thank Mike for giving us a jingle and finding out about the quince trees. And don't forget that we're going to be live at Recology on Orchard Avenue on April the 19th, and again we'll be live at the plant sale April the 26th. And
that's what we do at KLYC, To the Root of It, right here. Thanks for listening. We will see you next week. If you want to catch a recap of the show, it's on YouTube, KLYC, To the Root of It. Other than that, thanks, Ray.
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle. You guys go out there and have fun gardening.
ABC News Now, I'm Deirdre Bryant.